Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today I'm back with volume 15 of answering your comments, your immigration related questions. From now on I will be actually placing a heart and an actual response saying that your answer or your comment was answered in whatever volume that I'm doing, so that you know that it was answered. And also from now on, from starting with this video, I will be actually premiering the responses live, so that you can actually log in during the live feed and you can ask me questions in the chat and I can answer them while the video is premiering. As always, thank you very much for your support. Always appreciate it. That's how this channel grows. So without further ado, let's get into the very first question. Straight into the very first question from Kaut Flach Pay. Well, always having trouble pronouncing, but hello, I'm Alans. Hello, Alans. My cousin applied for me in humanitarian parole I-134A since February 4th, 2023. At this time, USCIS still don't send me any approval email. I want to know why. Okay, that's actually an excellent question. I'm glad that you brought this up, Alans. So I-134A basically is the newer version of the previous I-134, which is the kind of like a declaration of support that was used for a lot of different reasons, but most recently it was USCIS opened up a program for Ukrainian citizens and nationals who live in Ukraine, and also for there's a few different Cuba, Nicaragua, a few of them, a few different countries that are mentioned, also part of the same, similar, not exactly the same as Uniting for Ukraine, but a similar program where anybody in the United States, right, who is in the United States can fill out this form I-134 and file, basically sponsor somebody to come here in the United States from that country. Why? Because there is a certain, depending on which country we're talking about, Ukraine, obviously there's a situation that's going on with a war right now in Ukraine. But I-134A is the newer version. It's now available only online, and the reason why it was done is because the amount of applications that was submitted, the I-134, started growing. So whenever it comes to paper applications, when there is such a huge wave of applications coming in, obviously things get delayed. So USCIS came out with the online application instead of I-134. They did I-134A specifically for these programs. But with that being said, Alan, and now I come to answer your question. Unfortunately, the amount of the applications that's still coming in is growing. I mean, just a month ago, a lot of people did not know about this program. So the applications, they were reviewed really quick. I mean, within a week, within 2 weeks. Now it's kind of, I'm noticing that it's about a month and a half. So since you filed it February 4th, it's almost 2 weeks now in. I would say you probably have another 2 weeks to wait, because that's, at least at this moment, how long these applications take. But again, don't take my word for it. It doesn't depend on me. It really is the amount of application and kind of first come, first serve basis, right? So whoever, and the amount of applications is still growing. So again, the timeline, it might grow as well. But I would highly, it would be very nice, Alans, if you could. It would be really, really good if you could come back once you do hear back from them. Please come back to this channel and let everyone know how long your application took, because it will be very helpful. I'm gonna heart this and I'm gonna place the response saying that it was answered in 15. And let's move on to the next question from iTube 2304. Hello, my card expires March 2024. What if I want to renew it now? We're still not within 6 months. That was on the how to renew green card. Excellent question. So the reason why I've mentioned 6 months in the video is it's not really like a goal. It's like a standard that is designed by USCIS or anything like that. It's basically giving you enough time to get the card before it actually expires. Within the 6 months, usually most of the applications are reviewed. Usually it's like 3 to 4 months. 6 months obviously is just to give yourself extra 2 months just in case. Yes, you can definitely submit it, the application, earlier than that. It's not going to be a problem. You will still get a new card. It's still going to take time. And I know a lot of people do this, especially people that are planning to travel within the next, they don't know exactly when they're planning to travel, but they are. So if you submit it earlier, kind of much earlier, almost a year earlier, it's not going to be a big deal. After all, you are, paying for the renewal card anyway. So for USCIS, it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna hard this and I'm gonna place the response so that you know that I've answered in volume 15. Okay, moving further to Najiba Muhammadi. Thank you for your video. It was really informative. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching. Melissa Jones is driving me crazy. I miss my daughter. I'm very sorry, Melissa, to hear that. I definitely do understand exactly how it feels. I'm an immigrant. I came here and I still have some family members that are still back in the country where I came from, so I know exactly how it feels. Unfortunately, with immigrations, that's one of the reasons why I started this channel, is because I wanted to help as much people as possible, because I went through it myself. I know how hard it is, and I know what kind of obstacles and kind of mistakes that young immigrants make on the way. And I want to help, avoid those mistakes. That's why I keep saying in almost every single video that be on top of your case. Know the process. Know the process from the beginning to the end. Don't leave anything out. Of course, you coming to this channel, maybe, you're watching these videos, you're getting the information, but don't limit yourself with it. Do your own research. Official sources, USCIS.gov. If your case is in the Department of State, learn the, everything about the Department of State, about the National Visa Center, how it operates, so that you are familiar, so that nothing is a surprise for you. And it's not going to speed up maybe anything, but it will prevent from things getting more prolonged. So I'm gonna place that here. I didn't really answer any of your questions, but I try to be supportive because I understand exactly how it feels. Okay, the next question from Yuri. Well, it's actually not a question. Very helpful video, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you, Yuri, for watching. I'm glad this is helpful. Let's move on to the next one. From Lornelli Massisa. Hello, dear. I need to know which form or which process that I need to follow or to process for my family. My family and I got DV lottery. DV lottery, if you guys are not familiar, that's basically a green card lottery. And because of lack of money, I have done the process without my little family by mentioning that I will be back to get them. Now I have been living in US for 2 years and I need to start the process for my family. What should I do? I don't think that I-130 will be better for me because USCIS has already my family information. Okay, Lornella, that's a little bit of a complicated situation. I have to say, I do not think, unfortunately, again, this is not the information that is solid that you can 100% rely on. But from my experience, I don't think that if you won that lottery, right, the DV lottery, then you can come back to USCIS anytime you want and say, oh yeah, I won it, a couple of years ago or whatever. I wanna kind of activate it now. That's not how it works, because when you win the DV lottery, you have certain deadlines, you have certain things that you have to go through, interview, background check, medical examination, and you know it yourself. You've been through it. So if you have not done it, then unfortunately that disappears and it means absolutely nothing. So I think what you need to concentrate is you need to concentrate on your own status right now. If it happened 2 years ago, most likely you are right now a permanent resident, so you have your green card. So if you do have your green card, another question is your family, right, that you're mentioning. Is that your spouse, your husband? Is that your kids? Or are you talking about your parents? Are you talking about your brothers, sisters? Depending on what kind of family member it is, it will depend on how and what you can do. Obviously, I-130 is only one of the options, and it's a lot of times it's a lengthy option. So maybe for you it works just inviting your family members here, right? Or maybe you do need to file a family reunion with I-130. I would recommend for you to reach out to an immigration attorney, find someone in your area who provides free consultation. That's one of the things that I in my videos that I've done. Check it out. It might be helpful for you. 7 tips on finding a good immigration attorney. That's one of the tips that I gave, is that the attorney, they have to offer that free consultation. That's just, it's a must. All right, it's a very important commitment. You're hiring somebody who's going to do a very, very important process for you. They have to offer free consultation, and not only they have to offer free consultation, if they're a good attorney, they also have to have all their cards open in front of you. How much it's going to cost, approximately how much time is going to take, what you can do, what you cannot do, and stuff like this, right? No mysterious nothing. Oh, you pay first and then we will talk. That's dumb. And you, if you're an immigration attorney and if you disagree, that's fine. I am completely fine with it. I'm sick and tired of attorneys like this that take advantage of immigrants, that it's their fault too, the immigrants' fault too. Whenever I was in a bad situation with an attorney, it was my fault because I wasn't on top of my case. I wasn't, ready to work with an attorney. But I do recommend, kind of got off track a little bit, I do recommend you, Lornelli, checking out a few attorneys, speaking with them, and see what they recommend. Unfortunately, I do not think that you can do anything with that DV lottery for your family anymore. Now, because you got the status based on the DV lottery, you now have a green card, you can do the family reunion, but not because, just because you won and they could have came back then and they didn't. I don't think so. But let's move on to the next one from Michael Hathaway. I filled several I-134, 134A. The old form response times were between 1-2 days, as much as 10 days. The new I-134 is much, much slower. It's been over a month and I haven't... Okay, Michael, thank you for bringing this up. This is actually a really, really good point. So, again, here's the thing, right? USCIS, the reason why they switched from I-134 to I-134A is because they wanted to speed it up. So it's not because the old one was faster. It's because when it was regular I-134 back then, not a lot of people knew about this program just yet. There wasn't that amount of applications coming into the USCIS. But now they sped it up, but still the volume of application is much, much more. So overall, the things are slower than they were before. So thank you for bringing this up, Michael. It's really actually a great point. Just so that people are not confused and they don't think that, oh, because I file online, it was faster with paper. No. It's much faster filling it out online. It's just because there are so many applications, it's taking a long time. Okay, moving further to Daniel Craig. Thank you for all your effort. I watch all your videos. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate Daniel for watching the videos. Your support, it means a lot. All right, moving on from Dilson Toribio. Do I have to file another form for my little brother? I did one for my mom and asked for beneficiaries family, and I put my brother, but it doesn't say anything about my brother. He's 12 years old. Okay, so that was asked on I-130. Yes, Dilson. So yes, and you please do it as soon as possible, because for brothers, unfortunately, it takes very, very long time. Now, it doesn't mean that your mom won't be able to do that for her son who's under 21 when she will get her green card, so it will speed up the process much faster, but you should still file for your brother. And yes, with that being said, to everyone who's watching, whenever you're filling out I-130, you have to fill out separate I-130 for each beneficiary, for each individual, that your family member that you are trying to petition for to come here. With that being said, though, keep in mind that whenever you are filing these things, you have to show your financial situation, right? So if you're inviting the whole family, if you're inviting 2-3 people, you have to show in your tax returns that you have enough money in order to support 2, 3 people, or however many you are inviting. If not, then you will have to find an additional sponsor. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that will help someone. But let's move on to JC. Wonderful and straightforward. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for watching. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Moving further, and I will try to answer all the way down here. All right. So from Sharon Parker down to Sanjay. Okay, from Sharon. Where can you find processing time for an I-130 petition for a child under 21? Originally filed 10/2020 with NVC location. Oh, shit. So it's not NVC, it's NVC, National Visa Center. So it's V. It's an IOE prefix. Currently, status is taking longer than normal. NVC is not listed under the tools. Okay, yes, excellent point, Sharon. Thank you for bringing this up. So whenever USCIS approves the case, right? So you submit your I-130 to USCIS. You say, hey guys, I'm a green card holder, or I'm a citizen. I want to invite my husband or whatever, or my child, or it doesn't matter. You submit it to USCIS. Once USCIS reviews it and approves it, they then send it to the NVC, which is the Department of State, which is a whole completely different separate branch for further handling. NVC, obviously National Visa Center, they're the guys who are responsible for issuing that immigrant visa, with which the person, the beneficiary that you're inviting, will be able to come here into the United States. So the process in USCIS is completely different from the process of in NVC. So the times that you're checking out on USCIS, unfortunately, they are for USCIS only. Now you can look for timelines that are for NVC, but you will have to be very specific. You will have to specify whether you are a green card or citizen. Right, your own status, and then obviously well, you said you're inviting a child under 21. Usually children, especially under 21, they take much faster. So I'm assuming from your comment, because you already filed it in October 2020 and still nothing happened, I would think that you're probably resident, green card holder, not a U.S. citizen. Because if you were a U.S. citizen and you were inviting your child, it would have been much faster. But with that being said, another thing that I wanted to bring up here for your comment is that you have to be careful when your USCIS case is approved and when it moves to NVC. You start getting the notifications and communication from NVC, from the Department of State. It's email, it's mail. And I have seen already a few cases on this channel, just on this channel, from people who missed those emails from NVC. And basically the email, it's very important. It comes in, it says, hey, we got your case from USCIS, blah, blah, blah. Here is the link for the portal. Log into the portal. Here's your case. Here's your, I think, invoice number, whatever. They have a few different numbers that you enter. Then you get into the portal, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff for you to do in the portal. You fill out a few applications. You pay a few fees. You upload a few documents. And then NVC starts reviewing your case. If you don't do that, your case will just be in the air because nothing is happening, because you did not do your part. So it's extremely important to stay on top of your communications, your email and your mail. So Sharon, my recommendation, if you haven't yet checked email, your spam folder, check it out. Make sure that it's not lost somewhere in there from the NVC. It's going to be an email from the Department of State, so it's going to be .gov email. And also, again, if you're green card, then yes, the cases do take a little bit longer for green card holders compared to U.S. citizens. So that's another thing that I kind of need a little bit more information. But hopefully you will be able to figure this out, because it is, it's very hard. It's very difficult to, not be able to see your kids and wait for the process and all this bureaucracy, right, that we have to go through. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So as long as you're on top of this bureaucracy, everything will work out for the best. It's when you're not on top of this bureaucracy and you let it into the hands of other bureaucrats, it becomes a mess. Okay, let's move on to ML. Onal, hi there. I heard USCIS can offer a variety of immigration services since the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. Can you explain in the video more in detail concerning this type of immigration service, please? Either for Turkish people living in US searching to get the green card and travel legally, or the ones wanting to immigrate to the US. Okay, ML, thank you for the question. Actually, excellent question. I think I've mentioned it briefly somewhere. I think it was in one of these kind of videos where I answered the questions. Basically, what USCIS did, and they do it all the time, if there's like some kind of catastrophe or whatever is happening, like for example you see with war in Ukraine, they open up the whole separate program where you can immigrate to the United States. Unfortunately for Turkey, they didn't do that. There isn't, well, I mean, there's maybe some kind of program for Turkey that I'm not aware of, but just for this specific occasion, the earthquake that happened in Turkey, the only thing that they did is they loosened up the rules and deadlines whenever it comes to people who are either traveling to and from Turkey, or Turkey nationals, or people who live here. For example, let's say if you if you had a deadline for a green card application or something like this, and you were not able to file it on time because of the earthquake, maybe you missed your flight or something like this, you can petition USCIS and say, hey guys, I missed it because of this earthquake, it affected me. But that's really it. So unfortunately there isn't really much, but if there is some kind of deadline or something is approaching, yes, you can actually ask USCIS to give you some slack, to cut you some slack. All right, let's move on to the next one from Yakub Nuriev. Thank you for this video. Thank you very much, Yakub, for watching. Appreciate your time. Moving further to Najam Sohail. Can Form I-90 file online from abroad? Okay, so I-90 is application for green card. It's actually a good question, and let me actually check that, because as long as this form is available to file online, and as you can see, this is official uscis.gov website. Thank you, Najam, for asking me a question where I can actually demonstrate, right, a few things. So you go to forms, all forms, and we're gonna scroll to I-90, and let's see if there is a form I-90 and if it is available to be filed. Where is it? Why is it not coming up? To be filed online. Let's see. 90. Okay, there we go. Application to replace permanent resident card. And is it available to file online? Yes, it is available to file online. So, with that being said, if you are somewhere in a foreign country, obviously I would not recommend mailing a paper application from a foreign country. Why? Because you're risking a complete mess. All right, you're gonna send something with the mail from a different country. The reason why I'm saying it is because I know how, from the country where I'm from, how the mail service works. Okay, it works terribly. So your application can get lost. It might get delivered after month, right? It'll take forever to get delivered. So yes, if it's paper application, don't file it from foreign country. Online applications, yes, you can definitely do that. So it's not going to be a problem. So in your case, Najam, it's just a renewal of the green card. You can definitely do that. In fact, when you are filing it online, you can actually specify where you want your card to be delivered. If you absolutely must have it delivered to the foreign country, I would recommend specifying to deliver it to the embassy, that is US embassy, that is nearest to you in your foreign country. That would be the best bet. To a physical address, you're taking some risk, you're taking some chance that it might get lost, and you definitely don't want that. So I'm gonna put this right here so that you know it was answered. Let's move on to the next one, and we're almost done for today, for the volume 15. Question from Lovepreet Singh. Hi, I am free from immigration camp almost. It's 3 months complete, but still my A number not showing any case information. I checked my case and automated case information. Please, can you suggest something? Okay, Lovepreet, so I'm assuming that if you were in an immigration camp, you crossed the border, or maybe you came into the country and then you were locked in the camp. It really depends on how this happened. But what I'm trying to figure out is if you have not started any kind of immigration case, right? Unless maybe you came as a refugee. Then if you came as a refugee and you spent some time in a refugee camp, then yeah, in that case I would say, yeah, okay, so you should have had the A number by now, because, well, you came already as a refugee. But if you have not started any immigration process yourself, then you're not going to have the A number. So I do need a little bit of more information on what kind of status you came, how you came to the country, to help you better. But what I would be more concerned with is not even as much of an A number, but what kind of immigration status are you in right now? Are you, you have a withholding of removal, or are you in removal proceedings? That is very important information, more important than the A number, because at the end of the day, A number is just something that, alien registration number. Okay, so you came here, you're an alien, and they issue you your alien registration number, and that's it. That's really it. And they kind of identify you by it within that immigration proceedings box, right? So it's much more important to actually concentrate on what kind of immigration status, what are you doing about your immigration status situation in general. Okay, let's move on to the next one, to Adrian. Adrian, thank you for being publicly subscribed to this channel. I appreciate it. In fact, everybody who's watching, if you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell on, so that when I go live with these videos, you actually do get notification. All right, so Adrian, I paid $23,000 in this year in taxes. Wow, that is a lot paid in taxes, but might not be a bad thing, because it means that Adrian is making good money. So good for you, Adrian. Let's move on to Sanjay Joban Putra. I'm green card holder and filed for my son I-130 under 21 years old category. If his I-130 get approved, but still have to file I-539 and waiting for green card, and if he turns 21, then what will happen? Please give me your views and guide me for the same things. Okay, I-539 is the application to change status or extend stay. Let me just double check, because there's I-539 and there's also I-589, and I always confuse them too. Okay, yeah, so I-539 is application to extend, change non-immigrant status. It's not related at all, Sanjay, to you, unless I'm missing something, because I-539 is for non-immigrant status. You're trying to have your son immigrate, and you immigrated, okay? So I-539 is not related at all. So as a green card holder, when you file for your kids, unfortunately it takes longer. As you've seen in the previous comment that I was answering, where I think Sharon, she was waiting for her son, and he was also under 21, and it was a while. It was like 2 years already, and still nothing. So unfortunately for green card holders, it takes a little bit longer, even when you're inviting kids or spouses. But again, with that being said, make sure that you're on top of the case. If it was approved in USCIS, you have to find a way to get into the portal for NVC. If it hasn't approved in USCIS, the video that I've done where I show how to check the normal processing time, because while the case is in the USCIS system, you can check that processing time and it will be pretty accurate. And if it's beyond that, then you can submit an inquiry and see what's going on. So I hope this helps. And if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to ask them here. That's what this channel is for. All right, the very last one here is from Bernadette Harrison. I appreciate your support and honesty. God bless you always. God bless you, Bernadette. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you all for sticking around. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, go ahead, put them in the comments below, and I'll be able to I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. I guess 30 minutes is too much talking for me, but thank you very much. Appreciate your time. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next video.